Hey there, folks, and welcome back to the I Am CDB project. I, of course, am your host, CDB. You are not. And today we're just going to do an experiment because a week or so ago I was talking about I think I could get a decent shave with most things, even a bar of soap. This has probably been done before by other people, but I just wanted to try it myself and have a little time this evening. And so I figure I'll give it a whirl with Irish Spring. So what I'm going to do is open this and I'll cut a little piece off, put it in a bowl, see if it will lather, and see if we can get a good face shave. So we'll cut a little piece off here. Well, we'll just put it in a bowl. I'll show you what I cut off after I cut off. Anyway, I figure it's worth trying just to see if it's, even remotely possible. I wouldn't advise it. I still think you're way better off to shave with a product that's meant for shaving. See, right off the bat, this is kind of crumbly and hard to press into the bowl, the pieces, so I may just have to lather off the bar itself. Might be easier. I didn't really want to submerge the whole bar, but let's just try to load it off the bar. That'll probably make for a better experiment, I guess. I'm going to use the West Coast shaving brush that will be up for giveaway, and let's just try to see if we can, well, it's picking up some, certainly lather. I'm gonna lather it down here because it's sort of too high for me to hold it up there, so I'm gonna sort of load it sort of over my bowl and try not to make a mess in the bathroom. And now, whether this is gonna be remotely usable in terms of a lather, I do not know, but it certainly is capable of lathering. And if you've used it for bathing, you know that it lathers. Now, whether it's going to be the sort of consistency that we like it to be for shaving applications, I don't know. Probably not, but we'll see. Again, this is just an experiment for my own benefit and a gee whiz type of thing. I've been outside. It's a good evening. And so I figured let's try and see what happens if we actually try to use a bar of Irish Spring. So we've got a little bit of lather. Probably not enough at this point. I probably need to do a better job of lathering it in the bowl. Let me rinse my hands and then we'll come back, wet the face, and try to give it a go and see what happens. Stay tuned. All right, so let's wet the face here and see what we can do. I don't expect the consistency of this to be outstanding, but I could be proven wrong. Actually, it doesn't feel bad. And again, it's just Irish Spring in the bowl. There's no other type of soap or lathering agent, just a bar of soap. It actually feels pretty decent, surprisingly. I thought it would feel more thin than, what I'm accustomed to, but actually it's not too bad. And it smells like Irish Spring, which I happen to like. I can't really tell. I'm looking in the camera, I can't see as well as to, the consistency of the lather, but it feels good. And that's the main thing. It's probably a little thin, maybe. But overall, not bad. Now, I've used most of the lather that I made, so I'm going to probably have to lather the bar up. Going to roll with the Harry's just to sort of continue with that theme, as you can probably use a lot of different things. So let's just see how it goes. It feels okay. I mean, it doesn't, perhaps not as slick as a soap that's made for shaving, I would say. I don't think, this could 100% be in my head because I know this is a soap not meant for shaving, but doesn't feel bad, but it doesn't feel to me that provides the slickness that a soap made for shaving does. And again, that just could be a preconceived notion because I know this is a bar soap for, washing your body and face and so forth. So I just don't feel that it's quite as slick, but at the same time, it's adequate. I'm not having any trouble. Certainly, no major problem. But it doesn't feel as slick to me, to be very honest with you. But could you get by in a pinch? I don't know. I'm tending to think you might. Let's wet my brush a little bit and maybe try to grab a little more lather here and see how it goes on the next couple of passes. And I'll probably try it on my head too, just for the heck of it. I don't think I'll film that one. I just took a notion today. I had this bar of soap over there and I was like, let's give it a go. Because I talked about it, because if you missed that video, I think it's the one that's titled, It Just Is. And the point of that video was to say, a lot of our preconceived notions about needing all this stuff, I think are entirely that preconceived notions that really don't have a foundation in reality in a lot of cases. If you want to buy a lot of stuff, you certainly can, but you don't have to, because there are plenty of products can be had for not a lot of money that will work. If you're in a pinch, and I always like to caveat it by saying, I really like to point this out for people who are on a budget, because not everybody can spend tons of money. And so, again, absolutely adequate. Does it have that same silky type feel to it that a soap that's really made for shaving? No, I don't think so. So I definitely wouldn't put it on the same level. But I do think it's, adequate. I mean, you can use it, and we have used it. I can remember my grandfather, he was using a brush, and he just had like a bar of soap down in the bottom of one of those like Old Spice mugs, and he shaved with that. I can remember that vividly. And so it's workable. Now that could have been Muggs soap in the bottom of that mug. So it's possible that it was perhaps Muggs or something like that, mug. But it looked like just a bar soap. But I'm certain that people have used this method. It's adequate, like I said. Would be something I would want to go to regularly? No, it doesn't. It doesn't have the same feel, and of course, I'm sure that most artisans and people who make shave products will be happy to hear and agree with. There might be some soaps that do work better than others, or provide more of that sling. This just doesn't feel the same, but it is soap. It does lather. But it seems to be, at least from my perspective, missing that little something that makes the razor really glide effortlessly. That I guess there are probably ingredients in shaving soaps where. So that's good news, for the artisans. Because believe me, if I used this bar of soap and I felt it was 100% equal and effective in terms of providing the same experience, I'd be the first to tell you. In spite of how it might be perceived in the community, because I just don't care how things are perceived. If I believe it and it is my experience, it's my experience, and that's just the way it is. I don't care what people who write blogs have to say in terms of, their opinion about my experience. My experience is my experience. It's just the way it is. And so I don't really concern myself, particularly, as I've always said, the folks who are anonymous, I just give that and I don't pay them any attention whatsoever, because I truly feel like you need to stand behind your comments as a known individual. There's a lot of ugliness out there in the world, and I think a lot of it comes from people who are cowards who do it as unknown individuals. And that's just my opinion. Many disagree, but that's okay. Again, the shave is adequate. The Harry's is doing great. Of course, we already know this. I've talked about this in the past. It's doing a really nice job, but you can definitely feel like that residual slickness. There's some there, but it is not at the same level as a shaving soap. And so, again, I'm sure that will be. Look, I have relationships with people in the shaving industry, and some are my friends, some are acquaintances, and I never want to do them any harm, but I'm also honest, and I call it like I see it. And sometimes they don't like the things that I have to say, and I've been told, by them, hey, why are you doing that? And I'm like, it's just a way, I'm just giving my opinion, and I'm not the end all be all. There are many people who have opinions. You can listen to all of them. The one opinion that matters the most is you, and whatever your experience you have is whatever experience you have. But if you're here to sort of watch and listen to others, then you can take that into consideration. But ultimately, you need to be the one who makes the decision. But I'm here to tell you, you can certainly get an adequate shave from Irish Spring. It doesn't smell as fragrant as you'd think, given that's right on your face. Sometimes when you're in the shower, you really get that Irish Spring scent, but surprisingly, it doesn't come off as well when you lather it and put it on your face. I mean, I smell it, but it doesn't come across as fragrant as it does in the shower for some odd reason. But overall, decent shave. My face doesn't feel raw or irritated or anything like that, but you can definitely tell it's not in the same league. We'll get you by in a crunch, and I'm sure other people have done this. I just wanted to give it a shot myself. I talked about it in that video, and I said, let's see if we can give it a whirl. It does work. However, I still recommend that you get a decent quality, product like the one I've been talking about a lot recently, the Maca Root Cream. This is as good as anything out there, in my opinion, including $70+ soaps. This is just as good as anything you can buy on any level as far as I'm concerned. The Irish Spring, if you find yourself without anything, you can make it work. And of course, we already know this because people use soap for a long time, but I thought I would just try it and compare the experience to that of a traditional soap for shaving, for that, and it is not equivalent. So there is that to consider. I may go ahead and do a head shave this evening and record it in Blab as well. Maybe I'll use the Irish Spring as well. I want to thank everybody once again for watching, and good news, artisans. Of course, I'm sure you already know. Any artisan already knows I put all these ingredients into this soap. It's going to be far better for your skin, and they're probably right. And so, based on my experience, I would say get yourself a shaving soap. You'll be far better off. All right, thanks again for watching. I've been your host, CDB. You are not. God bless.